Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hope everyone is doing well today. Absolutely, today is a beautiful day. Sun's out. I've been very productive, and certainly, what a day as far as getting things done and just being able to catch up on general information that while I'm doing this work it's still incredibly interesting. The Probably the first thing is congratulations to the Wolf-PAC at wolf-pac.com. The I just finished watching a Vice document or a Vice news show where they talked about it, and essentially the Wolf-PAC is focused on taking money out of politics so that the individuals who are running for office just give their viewpoint, and people decide amongst the candidates based on their viewpoints and not based on the funding that they're able to receive from the individual classified organizations, corporations, and such. So I think it's amazing that Vermont was able to pass the support of this movement. Meaning, another big part that I'm very clueless on, so take it with a grain of salt, is the already built-in part of the Constitution that says that if 2/3 of the states agree on a particular amendment, that it will be passed. It can be passed by the states. 2/3 of the states are necessary to do it, and it's under the stipulation that, or the possibility that if Congress has become too corrupt to represent the people, that it has measures built in so that it would imply that larger revolution wouldn't be necessary in that part. But I mean, that kind of goes to the part that I would be concerned with, and that's just the whole idea of, if the corporations are based in these states, they could just simply, in this interim while this is being moved upon, shift their funding from the federal representatives to the state level. So I'm wondering and hoping that there's a way to get around that, and maybe it is just people support. We saw what happened in Wisconsin, and there are several opportunities that people have shown that just being there, it makes a difference. So if in these states, if the people actually support it, then showing the support could really get it done. And I think that's amazing. That's quite the anti-anarchy, revolutionary type of perspective that you see throughout history. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's very interesting to me, but it's, I guess it's progress. We'll see what happens. I mean, anything's possible. But on this wonderful Saturday, one of the other points that has definitely stood out to me the most, I'll have to say, is the. Well, I take that back. No. Well, it's two-part. That the what's happening in Vermont and possibly around the country, which, just as a last point on, it would really seem impossible to get something like that started, and I wouldn't imagine on the state level it even gaining support to the level it did to be able to pass. And I mean, Vermont, I mean, they're ready to fight New York, or the country to try to when they tried to absorb it. So I mean, Vermont is a very progressive state in that way. Based on the video, that does confirm it at least. The first state to constitutionally abolish slavery. So it does have its history of revolutionary acts. Maybe it's appropriate that it begins there. But something like this is monumental. The distance between 0 and 1 is infinite. Nothing times 0 will give you 1. So it's very great. It's a very great achievement. On another level, I saw a couple of the Godzilla trailers, and I was not excited about it until today. And it really, I think I watched a couple of just really good videos on YouTube about it. One from IGN, where actually, I forgot her name, but one of the substitute hosts It doesn't normally do it because the other individual was excited for it and didn't want to see any more spoilers, so he went on which is a good idea sometimes, spoiler spoiler-free pass until the movie comes out, because Godzilla movie does look like it's going to be really good. The the young woman was saying that she remembers that she would love it if it was like a little Easter egg, or a little fan service, if the movie, after Godzilla defeats one of these monsters, whatever, mutas or whatever they're calling them, that if he does like a little hop, like with his arms out, like like a little victory dance after he does it. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that in one of the old movies that I would watch with my dad, and that was another thing. My dad had my siblings and I watching these Godzilla movies, back from when I was young. So I absolutely, I didn't even see the last one, which I think there was one between the Matthew Broderick one in New York, where there were a bunch of eggs in Madison Square Garden and all that stuff. And the current one, I didn't even see it, unless it was, maybe it was a made-for-TV movie, because I remember it not even seeing any interest to me. But this one absolutely looks interesting, and just as when I saw the previews, I was thinking, you know what? I should watch this with my dad. We should go to the movies to see that. And then, I call him, and I was just like, hey, we should go see this movie. He was like, I thought about calling you to do that. That was so funny. So, turn into a little event, take my nephew and my older nephew and, my dad and I, maybe my brother. We'll just go to a movie, see Godzilla when it comes out on the 16th. So, it's really, can't beat that. Thinking the same thing, and it actually looks interesting and exciting. So whether good or bad, it's be a great experience to find out. And it looks like they did a little bit of fan service with the way they have everything set up. I mean, if you've ever seen a Godzilla movie with people running out of buildings or down the street, or running out of the factory or plant, and things about to be destroyed, I think that even the look of some of the previews, it mirrors that, with the modern, more serious perspective on it. And of course, Bryan Cranston, I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, so I think that was they've chosen someone who can obviously give the intensity of what seems to be like they're building up, that maybe something was handled obscurely, if that makes sense, not necessarily with evil intent, but secretly, and with a level of effort put towards concealment. So, it just looks as though they're just really going for a good tone for the movie, and that's exciting. But anyway, like I said, this is the first Saturday recording, so I hope everyone's doing well, and thanks for stopping in. You have a good day. I'll keep being excited. Probably grade some more papers.